And my father, he didn't really know what to make of me. He thought I was getting too big for my britches, probably. One day I came home from college and, you know, back then I was insecure, you know, 20, 21. And I was pronouncing things with a standard accent. I had really pushed myself to get rid of the Boston accent. And I was using big words. Even now, sometimes I use big words without even realizing I'm using them because it's just part of what my dictionary in my head is. And people say, geez, every time I watch your videos, I got to get out the dictionary. I'm sorry. My lexicon is expansive. Anyway, he said, don't talk down to your father. And when he said it, you knew that if you gave him any lip, you get the backhand. I never, ever once got in a fight with my dad or, you know, physical altercation. No. That was not, no. Not only was I loyal to him, but I knew that I had no chance at all. And I loved him. Why would I want to fight my own father? And, you know, I was not the best kid in high school. You know, I snuck out to go see girls, and I was drinking, and I wasn't of age, you know, that kind of thing. I was by no means an angel. I wasn't, you know, a criminal or anything. But I had some wild times. And my father, when I was in college, you know, he didn't really have a point of reference to discuss things with me because he had never gone to college. He didn't even graduate from junior high school. He got a job when he was 16, and that was the end of that. And I was a hard worker, so he was proud of me for that. And I don't really know. I mean, I know he was proud of me. He never really said he was proud of me for, you know, while I was in college, because we were kind of distant back then because he was so different. And I was trying to be different from him. But when I graduated from college, he drove all the way up to the college I was at in New Hampshire, a couple-hour drive. And I was so sick from drinking the night before that I told him I couldn't make it to the stage. And all I heard him say, because I was lying in the bed, whimpering, vomiting into a bucket that my girlfriend was emptying out for me, all I heard him say was, "Get out of that bed." And I was up like somebody had shot a starter pistol. Just, I was up, and I'm off, and I'm in the shower, and I'm washing, and I'm throwing up down the drain as I wash. And I get my gown on, and I'm outside by the covered bridge where everybody lines up to go to the graduation outside in May, in the heat, in New Hampshire, with black gnats attacking your face. And I'm throwing up over the bridge. Oh, man. But I graduated. I walked across that stage. And he was proud of me. Basically, my attitude about life at that time, and I guess it doesn't have to be as harsh today as it was back then, but, you know, I felt like you had to wrestle life to the ground, and you had to keep it in a stranglehold, and force your own agenda on it. Make your life the way you want it to be. Don't be passive, be active. Don't be stagnant. Go and do and be and learn and grow and fight for every inch. And so that's what I did. And of course I've mellowed over time because I don't have to be that way anymore, thank goodness. The first part of my life was all about me, you know, growing myself, learning things, being very selfish in that regard. But then when I became a teacher, it became all about giving. You know, Peace Corps and all the teaching I did there and before and after and for the decades that I've been doing it. Helping people, that's my calling. Not helping myself, but helping people. And of course, you know, I get paid, and I try to have the best time I can in life. But I've always focused on helping people. That's my true joy in life. I love teaching, absolutely love teaching. And now I don't teach because, I'm the administrator, but at least I get joy in knowing that I'm protecting our program and people have jobs and students have classes, and so I'm helping still, just in a disconnected way from what it used to be. And every once in a while, if somebody's absent or allows me in to teach a little bit of a lesson, I teach, and oh man, I walk out on cloud nine. And a lot of people, after I've helped them with advising and stuff, new students, they'll say, "Are you a teacher?" I say, "I used to be." I could tell you're a teacher just by the way you explain things. You're wonderful. I would love to be your student. And I think, oh, thank you. So my life has been of my own making, with the help of my father and my mother and my sisters, and and the people who took me under their wing, professors and friends, and just a very charmed life in a way, but a life well earned, I would say. And I'm not perfect, far from it. I've suffered from anger issues my whole life. But I'm better now than I used to be, that's for damn sure. To the chagrin of some, like Jackie Boy, who loves Anger Mike. And I do have a foul mouth on me. When I get angry, I can go there, because, again, I'm from Lynn, Massachusetts. And that's pretty rough and tumble. Scum of the earth. I worked with some real winners. Woo. I'll give you a case in point of the kind of kids I used to work with in high school. We delivered newspapers to cities. So we get dropped off on a corner with a bundle of newspapers. We deliver to every house, put it on the doorknob, plastic bag, and then we get picked up, taken to another street, and repeat the process all day till the whole city's done. And I was very focused on doing a good job, hanging the paper, making sure that it wasn't causing a mess, this and that and the other. And the kids I was working with, they were there for a paycheck. They did as little as they could, and they would case places. They would see a nice Saab, and they would see a Blaupunkt radio in the Saab, and they would take note of the address, come back later that night, and steal the radio out of the car and sell it, whatever. And proud of it and laughing about it. These suckers, they're in there having their Sunday dinner, and I'm in their car ripping out the stereo. And I was thinking, you guys are real scumbags. Real scumbags. And my father, he was on the tunnel job, and he said he saw this, and it never left him. There was this guy yelling, the sandhogs they were called. This guy was yelling at my father to move the machine this way, that way. He was, giving commands. It's really loud. And they're in knee-deep muck, which is water, seawater, chemicals, gasoline, human excrement, because the guys would just pee and poop down there and in the muck right where they stood. And this guy yelled so loud the directions that his false teeth fell out into the muck. Without even hesitating, the guy reached down, picked up the false teeth, stuck them back into his mouth with the muck all over them, swished around his mouth and spat it out and kept going. And that's the kind of person my father worked with his entire career. And a lot of the kids that I worked with are either in jail now or in prison. Sorry, in jail now or in prison, or dead. One kid I really liked, he was kind of a scumbag, but he was funny and he had hope. I knew that if he applied himself, he'd be a good kid, a good person someday. He had a good heart, He ended up dead. Somebody stabbed him to death. That was life in Lynn. My father, he saw a lot of people die on the job. There was this big, heavy concrete thing that was being held up, dangling in the air by the crane, and apparently it didn't have enough hooks holding it. And so they had to mark with a piece of chalk every day to make sure that the thing wasn't starting to sag. And so my father would take a piece of chalk and put it on the end of a big long stick, and he would mark it that way because he wasn't about to crawl up underneath that thing. And this other guy would crawl underneath it and mark it. And my father said to him, "What are you doing? If that thing lets go, you're not going to get out of there in time. You're going to get killed." "Ah, shut up, old man. I know what I'm doing." Well, thing let go. He was absolutely squished, that poor guy. A dude I knew at the creamery job I was at, unloading the trucks and loading the trucks, he was killed in the palletizer. He taught me how to clear out the palletizer when there was a problem with like the juice boxes to get down in there, and you had to push all these stop buttons, emergencies, whatever, and get in there and clean these things out. And if that lift came up or went down while you were in there, you'd be dead. So I was very careful going in and out of there. 6 months later, he disappeared for 3 days. They didn't know what happened to him. Then they saw the blood come out of the machine, and they realized, oh my God, it's him. So he had been killed inside that machine that he had taught me how to use safely. And he had pushed all the safety, so it was all kinds of weird accusations of murder or ghosts or voodoo or God knows what. Poor guy was from Vietnam. He had planned on saving up his money and going back to Vietnam and opening up a small business and retiring. And it never happened. Poor guy. His name was Vin. So there's a little bit about my upbringing. I'm glad that I survived it. I wouldn't want to repeat it. I'm proud of where I came from, but I don't want to go back there to live. I'm happy with my current decrepitude. And as depressed as I get, I'm fortunate. I've really lived a charmed life. All right, Maikeli7. Talk to you later.